Hello everyone, welcome back to Raw and Real, I love it. Welcome back to what Gigi says. And I'm going to keep going because the show must go on. This is Raw and Real and that's just what happens. We forget to turn the buzzers off and alarm. Thank you for coming in and seeing me again. That threw me off, but that's okay. I want to say thank you to Jean and Pastor and Liz and my family. They're in the background, but they're here, and that's a beautiful thing. This is season 3, episode 3. 3, yes. And I want to say also thank you. I know Queenie's out there always, and M. Perry, thank you for your comments. And I just want to say happy birthday. Yesterday was Liz's birthday. Happy birthday, Liz. But today is her grandbaby's birthday. So happy birthday, Penelope and Melody. Twins, 1 year old. So I only have to say happy birthday one time. But seriously, happy birthday, baby ones. And Gloria and Chelsea and Brianna and Alice and Jaime. God bless yous and your whole family. I don't know if you're watching, but if you ever do, I pray blessings over your family. So, let's see, any more thank yous? Well, all of you tuning in, and if I don't mention yous, because this is a Raw and Real, and I'm telling you the truth, today was a very challenging day for me. It was just, it was a very busy week, but today was very, very challenging. So I didn't move and groove too much on writing. So I did a lot of things, but it was the writing that I didn't do, like with the podcast, with the teleprompting. So I'm really speaking from the heart. A lot of times I put it on paper, but that's what I just wanted to let you know. That I'm going to go, let's go with the flow. The first thing is the senior thing. I want to share something. I got my grandson, Rocco. He loves pickles. So I got him this new jar of pickles down, yeah. I didn't buy it, it was given. So I asked Elizabeth if she could open it. I can't tell you. Look at this. She used my potato peeler to open. She had to use this to get this plastic. Now imagine if it was me. Imagine if it was anybody. I mean, and this woman is a power. And we couldn't do it, so she had to use this. If she wasn't around, I would have used probably a fork. But I just wanted to show you, we need a user-friendly package. We need a user-friendly Would you believe this? All I want to do was bless the baby, and look at this. Now, I have no doubt, I'm not going to open this pickle jar, even with the thing that they give us, older people, those spongy things they can grab, so forget about it. I wanted to show you, it wasn't user-friendly, so Clausen, you got to make something user-friendly. And my daughter, when my grandson visits, a lot of times she brings Chinese food. So I noticed this week what a challenge was, and then guess what? She brought Chinese food tonight. She brings the Chinese food, and it's in this thing. And this was challenging. Even now, I couldn't open the Chinese food. Getting it ready, I couldn't get this. This is so powerful, and even the other day, you had said you had a problem opening it. So what's the answer? Don't even close it. Don't do that. What I am going to do from now on is I'm going to rubber band it. I'm not going to snap it closed. I'm just going to put a rubber band around these because, after a while, these add up. And I don't throw them out. They're useful to give things away in, right? Right, Pastor? These are very good to use. Okay. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I don't think I had many more senior things besides the usual. This is very potato friendly. Okay, thank you. Got that. So we'll move forward here. Now, I want to share something. Senior, no senior, young. Let me just say this. Someone had asked, what was the bride about when I did the bride podcast? If you had a Bible and read the Bible, you understand the bride gown was representing the bride of Christ, the church, the people in the church, the members of the church, the body, Christians, people that follow Jesus Christ. They're called the bride. And one day Jesus is called the bridegroom, will come back to get us. One day he'll come to get us and bring us home. Those that are born again have Jesus. So, and it's the truth. If you get a Bible, if you look it up, or go on Google and look it up. What does the word bride mean in the Bible? And what does the word bridegroom? And it will tell you exactly what I just said. And I also put these black spots on the gown, which was and it was very, not the smoothest. So if you saw that, I can understand why you didn't get a lot. That one didn't go smooth, and I explained it in last week's podcast, why a lot of things, because it was about the motive. So if you see the black spots, they were representing, like if you said it had a bad thought, sin. They were representing sin. You know, I'll never be perfect. You know, we'll always have that every day, whether we say something or think something or act. So the black spots were representing. And as soon as I take a black spot off, I do something, you know, where I didn't sin. I bridle my tongue. Next thing you know, something else comes on. There's always something for us to work on in our life. So we're certainly not perfect. But the Bible says we go from glory to glory until we go home. So I wanted to make sure that was clear. Now the senior, again, it doesn't matter senior. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-year-old. It doesn't matter if you're 30. If you have an issue, they made these beautiful things, medical bracelets. They're called medical bracelets. And they're great to have. If you're diabetic, it's on here. So they know, God forbid something happened. You had an accident, or you fell in the street, whatever. This tells it. This says, one of them has like a whole resume. You know, I have a gastric bypass where my stomach was stapled. I had the 7 crushed vertebrae. What else I have on here? A pessary. We don't have to go into that. You can look that up in Google. Then it says, I'm a Christian. It does. And then it has my pastor's number on it. Yep, it says I'm a Christian. So I want to make sure. Then the other bracelet you have to go to your doctor about. This bracelet is a DNR. You know, the do not resuscitate thing. So these are very good. So I want to share. This comes from my state. You have to go to your own state. And you'll see them at a drugstore. They usually have a little plate that says, you know, you could get it. But they don't have none of this stuff. They don't have, so I customize, I personalize, and that's what you could do. This is in my state, so you have to call your own state for medical identification, it's called. So I thought that would be really helpful. Because I see, you know, I've seen people and something happened and no one knows. And the gastric bypass, I don't want nobody sticking nothing down here, you know, because the stomach is. So this is a very handy thing. I want to share that. So that all leads me to creation and cremation. We're born, and then the Lord calls us, and there's a dash in the middle. Only God knows our time. But that dash, like if ever you go and you see a tombstone, there's a little dash there. And that dash is just like a vapor in the air, God says. So, yeah, Gigi was born July 19, 1956, and one day the Lord will call me. But until then, I'm having the best time of my life. So, We're going to talk creation to cremation. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. And in the Bible, in Psalm 139, 13 to 16, and by the way, this was made by my grandson. Beautiful. Psalm 139, 13 to 16. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. He made us all different. And your works are wonderful. I know that full well. And my frame, whether my frame was like this, like this, like this, my frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days were ordained and written in your book before one came to pass. This is David that got Goliath with the one stone. This is little David, and then he became a king. But David wrote the book in the Bible. It's called Psalms. 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 And it was in chapter 139. And David's just telling the Lord knows him. It doesn't matter. He knows everything about us. Every little thing about us. And that's what I want to share. He formed us. We're all different. There are 6 people in this room. We're all human beings. But God formed us. Yes, we have free will. We make our choices. But God formed us for His purpose and His glory. So I wanted to tell you that. And it was written down here, but I just read it out of the Bible for you. So the reason being is because people have to make a choice. You know, I tell you the truth. This is good stuff to let your family know in advance. You know, we didn't know in advance what the parents wanted. So the children, you know, jumped in. We only knew a little bit. But this is really good. You know, whether you want to be buried, and if you want to get your cremation. So creation and cremation. I'm saying this for anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter, because you just never know. You think, oh, she's old, but then you hear people 30 years old or 5 years. It doesn't matter. It's always good to be prepared, because you never know. When we spoke, you never know whatever's going to happen. And this is a good thing. There's nothing bad about this stuff. So I wanted to, and this is, again, like who I would deal with. But there's something I want to tell you. If something happened, I started with a donation, right? Yeah, maybe they could use me for science. I'll give you an example. If something happens, that's the first thing. But my mom she was one of the first people, I think, to have her fat cut off. Many, many years, decades ago. She had it off, but she must have signed a paper saying that they could film the surgery. They could film that. They didn't have the little gastric bypass or the little laser gun. No, back then they actually, so she must have signed an ortho. Do you know, I'll find out for sure. It was someone in my family, one of the Russos. I think it was my great-nephew, not my nephew, my great-nephew, is going to school, was going for medical, and they were watching film because they're learning. You're talking decades later. Guess who it was? Mama Gigi. They called her my mother. My mother was up there. So that's why I thought what my mother had signed. I said, you know, I'll do the same thing. If they could use me, you know, to save a life, a heart, an organ. It's ironic because if they could use the organ. So being an organ donor is a blessing. I think you could save up to 7 or 8 people with that. And that you could get on your license, or have it, let your family know, but also have it in writing. So this is, I'm just giving you, I want to give you knowledge and think about it, to be prepared, because something happens, God forbid, and this is life. Something happens, you know, it gets so hard for people that we left behind. So when you get things done in advance, it's a beautiful thing. I'm not talking dread, I'm talking wisdom. And this is wisdom. So, and it makes it easier because we didn't have it wasn't so easy with my mom. It wasn't so easy with Dad, but they did the best they can, and that's okay. But I learned from it, and now I'm going to do better. So that's what I wanted to share. And the cremation part that I'm going to share is in Genesis 3:19. People may argue about that, whatever. Let them argue. Okay? So Genesis 3:19, it says, in Genesis, the book, the first book of the Bible, it's chapter 3, and it's verse 15. And it says, you know, Adam and Eve was in the garden, and when they ate from the tree, they weren't supposed to, they were kicked out of paradise. Let's just call it paradise. And I'm almost about done, Gene, anyway, FYI. And they were kicked out of paradise. So God had said to them, by the sweat of your brow, Genesis 3:19. It's a long verse too. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food. And they're sweating, they're working for it. You see it in the paradise, in the Garden of Eden. Well, they were in authority over the animals. They didn't have to sweat. They didn't have to worry about a wardrobe. They didn't have to worry about baking, cooking. Look, that's my alarm. No, I took my water pill. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it was a water pill alarm. That's a 3. Okay. Until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. People may argue about this. Oh, is that right? Is that of God? Whatever. This is what I choose, and I'm prepared. So the creation dash to cremation. When I was born, God created me and my mother's, but then I was born, there's a dash which represents my life. Only God knows the length, and all of us. And the neat thing is to make the best and beautiful. Time is special. Time has wings. Time waits for no one. It flies. And the older you get, the quicker time goes. So really, maximize it. Have joy in it. So creation to cremation. Again, until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and dust you will return. So use this as a knowledge, as a learning podcast. And you could always email me at mamagigisays@gmail.com. I love yous, and I love yous enough to get you to think about this, to save you. I always told you, Moses, it took the people 40 years when he took them out of Egypt to get to the promised land. It should have been about 11 days, give or take. You could look it up. But if I could save you time, and it's a beautiful thing to do, to take that heavy burden off your children in the future, your children, your grandchildren, and the generations to come. This is Mama Gigi. I love yous. God bless yous. And remember, if you want Jesus in your heart, it's a simple prayer. And that's why this is out here. I just want to share, this is here. Because every morning, I take a water pill. I take a heart pill. I take my fiber. I make the coffee. And I go in the bathroom with my Bible, and I sit. When the water pill starts kicking in, the fiber starts kicking in, I go in the bathroom, I sit. This is my desk. My Bible sits here. This is my shower. This is a shower seat. Yeah, this is real. We've always called that in the past the throne room. That's a way for me to get into the throne, to the throne of the mercy seat. People may say, oh, well, don't tell me you never read nothing in the bathroom. Please, don't even go there. But this, I sit in, my red pen, my highlighter, my Bible, my notes. Sometimes I even write my paperwork for the podcast in there. So that's what I want to let you know. It doesn't matter. You invite Jesus into your heart. Believe it. You got to say it with your mouth, but you got to believe it in your heart, and you will be saved. And when that bridegroom comes back, you'll be part of that bride. Bless you. Go in peace. In Jesus' name, amen.